This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, head over to bigheadsmedia.com. Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive in the latest in TV news and reviews, sometimes. With me, as always, is my co-host and evil rat sidekick, Stairmaster.
What does Master require of Stairmaster?
I need you to be like a sneaky boy.
I will be quiet for the remainder of the episode.
Just like walking around, I mean. Don't make any undue noise on your mic.
I will slither around on the ground like a snake.
Oh, okay. That's another character, but yeah.
Or a cat with really short legs.
And with us, as always, is our other co-host and boisterous rabbit, Kioran.
Yeah, I like to talk a lot.
That's right.
You're dummy thick.
Yeah, you're...
Dummy thick, that's how you describe his proportions?
I would describe this rabbit as a thought.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, yeah, he is clearly a himbo, but...
This rabbit's thick. With 2 C's. Possibly 3.
Okay, I mean... You know, we all view media through our own lens.
Oh, you're saying that he doesn't have the fattest thighs of all time? Like, he couldn't crush a watermelon with those?
You know, you're saying he doesn't have an ass that would make Nicki Minaj blush?
Okay, what was his name? Let me look up his picture again, because
Jazzy Jackrabbit.
His name was Basil something hair. Basil Stag hair.
Basil Stag.
Sir Robert Baratheon.
Hair.
What? Ignore the Sir part. Since he was never knighted.
It's true.
Oh, I'm thinking of Barristan. No wonder.
Okay, he definitely has very he's got those wide rabbit hips.
Yes.
There.
He's got birthing hips.
I don't know why this is an argument.
I was watching the program, and I didn't take a moment to look at the rabbit character and remark that he's got a voluptuous form.
That he's sort of built like a Pixar mom.
I'm sorry, I paid more attention to media than you.
Yeah.
I paid attention to what was going on in the program, but I just wasn't wow, this rabbit man who's talking nonsense is...
I think what Keo is saying here is that they actually should have called more attention to how much of a dump truck ass this rabbit has.
At no point does he ever bend over with his rump facing the camera.
Yeah.
And wiggle his tail a little bit.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine if he did that to sort of distract some of the rats.
I would have noticed at that point that he's got he's very
he's packing
bottom heavy here.
Yeah. Yes.
Like a rabbit is.
Rabbits, notorious bottoms. So welcome.
Yeah, they have very powerful legs for jumping.
Yes. True.
Just like me.
Yeah, because you're Basil Stag hair.
Yes.
So welcome to the podcast. This is another bonus episode brought to you from Buy Me a Coffee. From our good pal Frogus bought this episode for us over at Buy Me a Coffee.
Frogus?
Frogus? Froby? I don't know. He said his name. I think he said his name was Froby. Frogus? I don't know.
His name is Frogus Gracchus. He's Roman.
That's right.
All right. Yeah, he bought us this coffee, and so we're watching this show, Redwall. which we'll get into in a little bit. But these bonus episodes have been taking the place of our normal episodes for a little bit here. So we've brought over some segments to sort of stem the tide. Because people love segments. That's what I'm told.
All right.
And one of those segments, near and dear to everybody's heart, of course, is the Tweet of the Week. Because we have a Twitter account full of great TV content over at TV Tuners. But what it's really for is each week, our dutiful team of interns scour through the Twitter space looking for the Tweet of the Week. And Stare, they gave you one?
Yes. This Tweet of the Week comes from the Rat Catcher.
Oh.
At
okay.
Pied Piper
Okay.
63.
Oh no.
Who writes, Santa Claus has a beard. So what? Just another fairy tale story believed by some idiots.
Okay, hold on.
Yes.
So the story here is not that Santa Claus exists. It's that he has a beard.
Wait.
No, this guy
This has
clearly-
context that we're missing out on.
Oh yeah,
here,
there is
apparently.
context. But he clearly doesn't believe in Santa Claus, since he's calling it another fairy tale story believed by some idiots.
But the unbelievable part is the beard?
Apparently. Well,
Like,
the
I would-
context...
No, listen, this is like being very. This is like almost a quote mining territory here when you take this out of context.
Oh, do we gotta respect this guy? Do we gotta give him a fair shake, Keo?
Yeah, Keo, provide the context for me.
Okay, so this is 3 tweets into a chain here.
2
Okay.
tweets. It's the second response.
Well, it's the 3rd tweet in the chain, okay? And the first one is a news story from BBC where they report that the Taliban are telling people don't trim beards. Because, they like their beards in the Taliban.
That's one of the things about the
they're
Taliban
weird.
you gotta know.
Yeah, they can't jerk off properly without the beard.
What?
Yeah,
Why did your brain go to that, Keo?
And
it's the
how?
truth.
I need you to speak on that.
I was thinking there were just a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah, let's just call them a bunch of weirdos. Why don't we?
That's the Taliban?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's be nice to the Taliban.
What?
Like, what? Like,
We don't want to
like
go too
Mr.
hard on
like,
these guys.
Are you like Mr. Like, I like fundamentalist
Well, look, I
religious
may
people?
own some shares in some Chinese mining companies that are setting up over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm getting some like really weird pushback on this attack line there. Okay, so next up, somebody responds to this, saying, "Prophet Jesus has beard. Prophet Moses has beard. Prophet Noah has beard." And he has a picture of like a
lion.
a lion,
Jesus.
half the picture, and then like a bearded guy,
Moses,
With-
obviously.
and it looks like he's got an inverted cross tattoo.
Yeah, not what I would call religious. At least not the
I don't
one,
understand this.
not profit-wise.
Yeah. So anyway, this guy's basically saying like all the best like guys in town had a beard, and they're all religious figures. And then
Like Lennon.
these guys are responding to him saying like, "You're stupid because Santa Claus has a beard too."
Peace be upon him.
So,
Hmm.
so I think what we're getting across here is that he's making fun of a religious person, not that he's just randomly coming out of nowhere talking about Santa Claus having a beard.
Yeah, I guess with the added context, this is a tune in.
Oh, I'm going to tune out now the context has been shared.
I'm gonna tune out on this because I'm not impressed.
Oh. Alright.
That's right.
But I do handily rebuke Stairmaster.
According to Kyorain, this don't impress him much.
Yeah, I've got higher standards for tweets of the week now. I'm gonna be like, who's that guy on American Idol who was like always like no?
Simon Cowell?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
just something.
That's me. That's me now.
Alright.
This is garbage.
This tweet sucks ass!
Holy fuck. Bigfoot's a chef.
Yeah, that tweet didn't suck ass, though. That was a good tweet. Be more like this tweet. Be more like that tweet. All right. Anyway. Yeah. Twitter's not the only way you can reach us, of course. If you have any quips, comments, questions, foresights, otherwise, you could send them to us at our email address, tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. What's that email, Keelrain?
tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com.
That's right. Yeah, you can send it an email and we'll read it aloud here on the pod.
Yes.
If we had one, we'd do it right now.
What? We don't?
But we don't. So instead...
We'll make one up. Make one up.
Well, I was going to do something better than make one up, Stair.
Oh, okay.
I was going to bring back another segment by popular demand. The Stairmaster Minute.
What's the segment exactly?
Well, Keelrain, the Stairmaster Minute is a segment on the pod where I give Stairmaster a topic, and for a straight minute, he will discuss this topic. No help given via me or you.
No feedback.
Okay,
no feedback.
We're not going to respond to anything he has to say, even if he asks us to.
Yes, which he has before.
Yeah. Well, I'm also allowed to do rhetorical questions.
I want to make this a little bit easier on Stairmaster. I'm going to also put forth a topic, and he can pick which one he's going to talk about between our two.
Oh, you're so sweet,
topics.
Keo.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, my topic is dirt.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna let Stairmaster talk about the kitchen stove.
I think I'll choose dirt.
Okay. Well, in that case, on 1, 2, 3, go.
So, dirt. I remember when I was a kid and used to play in the sandbox, and sand is basically a form of dirt. I mean, for like a different biome, like it's dirt of the coast. Actually, I don't think I've ever held dirt in my hands. Thinking it back, there used to be a lot more bugs back then. I think the planet's dying, you guys. Oh, one time, my neighbor's dog, I tried to pet it over the fence, and it leapt up and kicked a bunch of mud in my face, and mud is wet dirt. And I got some on my tongue, because I'm an idiot who breathes with his mouth open sometimes.
All right, well, thanks for that, Stairmaster. That's been the Stairmaster Minute.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Another great installment of that segment.
Is this what you wanted?
I had a lot to say during that, but I was sworn to silence.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Well, we can discuss it afterwards.
You think there's less bugs?
Yes, in the world?
The bugs are dying.
I don't see bugs as often as I did when I was a kid.
Maybe because when you were a kid, you went outside to play in the dirt.
Oh, you're right. Let's go play in the dirt after this, Keo.
Yeah, let's go like turn over some stones and see if there's like bugs under them. There's gonna be like a lot.
Well, if it's just one big bug and it attacks us, though.
Well, we're gonna die over that probably.
Yeah.
That's the danger.
Like if it's a centipede, we're done. Ugh. That's got poison.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a centipede in real life.
Ever?
Yeah, not even like a little tiny one?
Probably not.
Like most centipedes are tiny and like cute.
Oh, I don't know about that second part, but maybe inoffensive.
No, cute. They're cute little things that like walk around.
What would you rather encounter in real life? Like normal size for us centipede or a normal size for us millipede?
Centipede. Millipedes are borderline eldritch.
Yeah, I mean, centipedes aren't that much better, though, are they?
Well, you know what the worst is the mythical gigapede.
Wait, what do you mean, like, normal size? Like, it's the size of...
Like,
it's the size of, like, us.
What? Oh. That's what you mean by normal?
I don't know, the size of, like, a pet.
Like a dog size?
That's not normal.
centipede.
That's what I mean. A normal size in comparison to us.
So you just think normal is a category that's like around the size of a dog and not like typical to the object itself, but instead absolute?
I got what he meant. He didn't know the right word. He just meant like a scaled up version. I don't know what the word would even be to describe that. But yeah, I would probably. Honestly, I think that I would probably prefer a millipede. I think centipedes are more like aggressive. And have more poison than millipedes. I don't know.
Well, millipede. I assume millipedes are more powerful because of the prefix.
Because it has more legs.
Yeah.
Well, it has more like sharp legs too. Don't they have like knife legs?
Yeesh.
Like millipedes are like little guys. They like eat like bark, and like they're fine. And centipedes are like hunters that inject poison.
That's gross. That's scary.
Yeah, I guess I'd
rather freaked out thinking about this.
There's gonna be up all night thinking about if he encountered a centipede.
Yeah. Probably have a nightmare.
Normal size centipede.
So yeah, I'd rather encounter a dog-sized millipede because just be like a little guy, like you could pet it, and a centipede would be like, I'm gonna bite you, and you're gonna die.
Yeah.
So there you go.
All right. The more you know. All right. Well, there's only one more segment to get to before we get to our show here, and that's what'd you guys watch this week? Anything fun, interesting?
No.
Oh.
Unless you want me to talk about Mobile Suit Gundam 00.
Yeah, I mean we can.
Sure. It's like a recurring segment at this point. You talk about Gundam.
Okay, imagine if these dudes had like Gundams, and the rest of the world didn't, and the dudes decided that they wanted to end wars with the Gundams by blowing up shit.
Okay.
And they're all a bunch of hunks.
Good. This sounds really good.
This actually sounds different, vastly different from most Gundam shows.
Yeah, it's alright.
Oh,
it's okay.
It's alright.
So are you saying there's like a group of people who are like, we shouldn't end war?
Well, there's the United States and the European Union and China, Russia.
So yes.
So just literally those entities are like an analog to the...
Well, they say America, but like the United States has become the Union, which is like all the North American and South American countries. And the European Union's just the AEU for some reason now. And China and Russia have formed into the Human Reform League. They don't expand on why they're called that at all, though. It's not like the episodes
communism? They call that like as a communism?
Don't seem communist to me. They don't say. I don't think Bandai will ever allow a Gundam show to utter the phrase Karl Marx.
What about Comrade?
No, that's Nakama, obviously.
No, fascism is fine in Gundam, but communism is not.
Oh, it's easier to sell toys.
That's true, yeah. So it's okay?
How?
Because fascists love to make weird-looking super weapons. It's okay, yeah. I would say up, like, in the middle of the curve in terms of Gundams.
Okay. Now, there's someone in this cast voiced by the guy who did Amuro Ray's voice?
Yeah.
Okay. How's that?
It's him, you can tell.
Are they, like, doing anything to, like, play on that?
Well, at one point he does say that adults suck, and the camera kind of is framed on him menacingly.
Menacingly? He's like a bad guy?
He seems to be up to something.
Oh. Okay. Well, I watched 2 motion pictures this week.
Why?
I felt like it.
Okay.
So it was Bill Murray's 71st birthday this past week. So I celebrated by catching up on one of his latest, On the Rocks. It's a new film from Sofia Coppola, who he did Lost in Translation with. It's good. Mm-hmm. It's a fun little comedy movie. He plays like a aging Lothario who's trying to convince his his daughter that her husband's cheating on her.
Does he succeed?
No. He does not succeed. He's actually very wrong about that.
Owned.
But Bill Murray's very funny in it. There are moments in the movie where it feels like they're trying to play like the typical wacky Bill Murray comedy, but if it existed in the real world. And that's fun. That's fun as like a subversion thing, but it doesn't really play like that in other scenes. It's fun. It's mostly fine though. If you like Bill Murray and Rosita Jones, who plays his daughter, then sure, go ahead and watch it. Otherwise, it's not really anything spectacular. Other than that, I rewatched Sorry to Bother You. God damn, that movie still holds up.
Yeah.
What's that again?
Sorry to Bother You is a movie that stars Lakeith Stanfield. He played Darius in Atlanta, among many other things. He plays a guy who starts working at as a like telemarketer of sorts. And to say any more would spoil the movie. Just to say that there's a union trying to get formed and some stuff happens.
Capitalism.
Interesting. Something to think about.
Much to think about. Even.
The first time you watch that movie, you sort of get fixated on the last third because there's some stuff that happens that's really wild. But I think in this time around, I thought it was really apt to make Armie Hammer the evil CEO.
Yep.
Turns out it actually worked out for them. It was one of those things that's actually aged better.
Yeah, I guess so.
Also, the scene where he makes him rap is still very funny to me.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure Keo will like that one. When he sees the film 20 years from now.
Yeah, Keo, there's a scene in the film where he goes to a party and it's like just filled to the brim with white people, and the white CEO guy makes him rap.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's great. Anyway, yeah, it's a very good movie. Would definite tune in. Other than
I'll give it a tune in as well.
Oh, okay. Preemptive tune in from Keo Rain.
You'll love to see it.
All right. Well, with all that out of the way, I think it's time for us to get to Redwall.
Redwall. Redwall. Redwall. Redwall.
Redwall is a series, a Canadian French produced series.
Yeah, you can tell this is made by the French, just by the way it looks.
It came out in 1999, the year of Canadian animated programs coming to
real Sonic
America.
Underground energy going on here.
Yes, 100%. That was actually, like, almost immediately, that was what I thought of.
I think we all thought it.
Keo? Do you think that?
No, it didn't
Keo was
occur
just
to me.
thinking, this is delightful. Look at these cute little guys.
It's like Sonic Underground in the way that it's one of those shows that you could flip on at, like, when you come home from school, you could just flip it on to one of the, like, local stations, and they would just be playing this.
This is Sonic Underground if they actually had a proper budget.
Yeah. I mean, the animation's not much better, but
it's, like, not glaringly bad.
Yeah. These are based off of a series of novels by Brian Jacques. I don't know how you say his last name. Jacques.
Brian Jock.
Anyway, yeah, it's they're I guess a popular series of children's novels. Basically, it's what if animals were fantasy?
What if animals were medieval, as opposed to Animal Farm?
Yes, which is what if animals were inherently political. So yeah, this is we watched the first 2 episodes of this, a 2-parter called Clunny the Scourge.
True.
And yeah, this stuff happens in this, right? There's mice, they're going around doing mice things. There's rats, they're going around doing rats things.
There's a race of rats that are all universally evil.
Yeah, and the mice are all universally good, from what we can tell.
And they could easily wipe out the rats, but there's one liberal mouse ruining everything for the rest of them with his pacifist ways. And our hero has to do what must be done on his own. And he's also the chosen one.
Well, you can tell it's a kid's show because the old men are the dumbest in the show.
So it's sort of like Gundam,
Yes.
except pro-war.
Very true. Yeah, the Badger, when you think about it, is sort of a Bright Noah figure.
Yeah.
So yeah, what we get here, this is eventually,
Wait, I
first
thought
off...
that was a skunk.
Oh, you're right, that's a skunk. The badger, there's a badger in this too, I think, but he's not,
Yeah.
he doesn't do anything.
Unfortunate. We love badgers, folks.
We all love badgers, folks, don't we?
The Japanese, they got loads of them. They got cafes full of them.
I'm working with a deal with them right now. We're going to bring badgers to the U.S. American badgers, stay away from me.
And then, like, 3 weeks later, it turns out badgers are a vector for COVID.
I've got a box right here. You know what's inside this box?
I give you a hint. There's a bee on it. It's bees.
You thought I was going to say badger, you're wrong. So very wrong.
Get him, boys. Sting him all.
He just attacks his own rally with bees.
Gotta stay on your toes. He comes out in a beekeeper outfit.
Talking about badgers with like a box that's clearly buzzing. And afterwards they're like interviewing people and they're like, it's the best rally I ever attended.
Like 5 guys have died because they were allergic to bees.
Yeah.
And it's the middle of winter, so they didn't bring their EpiPens.
And they're all just like, wow, I would totally go again. They died doing what they loved.
The only thing that would have made that upsetting is if the bees had vaccines on their needles.
Well, yeah, every time the bees are stinging people, Donald just keeps saying, it's what the Democrats want. This is their America.
I'm imagining now that if Trump was still president, that's how you get the vaccine out.
Bees. Yeah, it would be like robo bees.
He would get very
like those,
mad that people were refusing his vaccine.
Like, did you ever hear about those bees that are like those robo bees that like pollinate flowers? He would get a bunch of those and they would just carry the vaccine.
Oh, did you hear that they figured out why the insects are dying worldwide? They found out a pretty good theory. It's because of
theory or
street
idea
hypothesis that kind of at least more convincing than the other ones.
Okay.
Let's see, street lights at night are upsetting their migration and reproductive patterns.
Oh, that makes sense. Light pollution definitely. I mean, we can tell there's got to be consequences because. You ever see moths at night? Yeah. Pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, they're pretty wild. Those moths, man.
Those moths, they love the light, folks. That's why we're building the biggest light in the world.
We're gonna send all of the moths to Montana. That's where they're gonna go. That's where they're building the light. We're building this big light dome. We're gonna send them all to Montana.
When they gather in one place, they're going to create the legendary Mothman.
You've heard about it, folks. That's right, we're putting it in Montana. That's where Mothman's from.
This is getting more and more bizarre by the hour.
It's just him continually getting more and more deranged.
And still, for some reason, insect themes.
Yeah, it's just... You ever think about ladybugs, people?
Folks, the bugs are getting in my brain.
If there's one bug I love, it's the ladybug. A very sensuous bug.
My brain's full of aphids. I need the ladybugs.
just put a couple ladybugs in my ear. Let them eat the aphids. What on earth?
This is not good.
I kind of just wish this would happen in real life just to see the reaction.
People would start thinking that that's actually the case.
Its approval rating would increase.
So yeah, to open up this show, we've got the theme song is really just some like half-ass stuff.
Yeah, it's freestockmusic.com. It's what we use.
Yeah, it's essentially what I don't know what you're talking about. We use Streets of Rage for this week's episode, but this is some generic fantasy music. And
they're using animation from the show. That's how you know it's good.
Yeah, they're doing the Nightman sort of cheap intro here.
So, speaking of which, I looked up on Wikipedia the show. Apparently, at the beginning of every episode, they have a scene from the author where he recalls the story thus far. Sort of like a Spawn, Todd Howard, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I know who you mean. I don't think it's Todd Howard, but... yeah, Todd McFarlane.
Todd Howard's Spawn.
That's... yeah, you would play that?
No. Not willingly, but I feel like it would be unavoidable.
So yeah, we open up this rat. This mouse is just sort of roaming along. He drops a bunch of nuts, and then decides to look at a tapestry for what approximates to about 5 minutes of the actual showtime.
Yeah, we get a 5-minute flashback after he
right
spills
at the
the
start,
nuts.
just right in here. He spills a bunch of nuts and then says, "You know what? It's time to reminisce on the last 10 years of my life."
And it's kind of like Conan the Barbarian. This opening.
Yeah, actually, when you think about it,
his family gets wiped out, and I guess he does technically get put into slavery when Zabby picks him up.
I guess if you want to be extra cynical about it. One harsh winter, him and his family get attacked by this evil rat and his army of evil rats.
Yeah, including Scrungy.
Yeah,
who has
Clunny.
a knife on his tail.
Yeah, Clunny the Scourge, who's like the villain, the big bad of this show. And he's got a knife on his tail, and he's just here ready to, I don't know, do stuff.
Kill people off screen.
Yeah, ready to kill people in a very child-friendly manner.
Yeah, this, I don't know, this is the first, like, kid show I've seen that has, like, a genocide in the first episode. It's pretty cool.
Well, you saw Gundam. That has war crimes. And
I mean, when I say kid show, I mean, like, not from Japan, where they have, like, vastly different standards.
An advanced culture like Japan.
Yeah. And so, yeah, they, he kills, like, all of their family, except for, like, his sister. This young guy, by the way, is named Matthias.
Matthias. How the fuck are you struggling with this? This is my territory, Swanson. I'm the one who messes up words around here.
So yeah, Matthias is here, and he's him and his sister have survived for now.
It's like they go through suffering Olympics when they're fleeing for their lives. It's like nonstop. Like at one point they walk on ice and it cracks under them immediately.
Yeah, immediately, and she just like they fall in for sure death, and then they get saved by these two like village mouse.
It's like in the Spider-Man games when you fall in the water and it just fades out to you climbing out. It's like that.
Yeah,
you literally get a fade in of them being pulled out by fishermen.
And then like later they're almost murdered by a cat.
Yeah. So that's the strange part because these animal people are people-sized.
Yes,
because we see in this episode they're riding horses. So that cat has to be giant.
Yeah, that cat is the size of essentially like a bear.
And it's a house cat. It's not like a lion or a panther or a mountain cougar.
Yeah. Yeah, it's there's essentially just a giant bear cat that's just stalking these two mice.
So how big would a lion be in that world?
Well, I guess we'll have to find out. I don't know.
Well, we won't.
You think there's a lion gonna show up one day?
I have to imagine.
Start wrecking house.
You think there aren't lions in this world?
I mean, there might be, but like, are they gonna make an appearance?
No.
Do you think they recognize the continent of Africa? In this
No.
I don't think Richard Jacks thinks much about Africa.
It was 1999. It was a different time, Kioran. We didn't recognize Africa back then, especially in Canada. Notoriously right-leaning Canada. So yes, they Matthias and his sister also at one point they get saved by this cat by like a group of snow mice. They're just like they're able to burrow in the snow and they're just like, hey, we're saving you. We don't have any lines though, but hey, we're here. And then they like sort of just pass out because of I guess lack of food. I don't know why.
The pacing of this whole sequence, by the way, guys, was very feverish to me.
Yeah, it's essentially like a fever dream, is how they've been envisioned this flashback of this man's life.
I thought I was gonna disassociate watching this.
Well, I think though this is the most ignominious death of all time. The sister just falls and then is dead.
I think it was exhaustion, at least.
She just like falls down a hill and then he wakes up and they're like, "Your sister's dead."
Go back.
Hey, I don't want to alarm you, but your sister, she died back there. You're fine though. You're good.
We're gonna say your name a lot from this point
Yeah,
on.
we want people to know your name. You know how there's like you're supposed to say someone's name 3 times and the audience will get it? We say it about 18. And we hope that the audience remembers it.
What is
I
her
don't
name?
remember his name.
Her name? They don't say the sister's name. His name is Matthias.
I'm pretty sure they said the sister's name.
I don't know.
I think he asked for where his sister was, and they were like, "Oh, she's resting."
Oh yeah, but
in peace.
they do say the main character's name a lot, sort of like Foss and Camille all the time.
Yes.
What?
And yeah, we get introduced to him now as like a 13-year-old little mouse boy.
Church boy.
Yeah, he got taken in by, I guess, like the monastery, the monk mice.
Yeah. Who do they worship?
Apparently this
Because
Martin guy.
No,
Sir
he's the
Martin
founder
Lawrence.
of their. He's the founder of their
And
order.
they worship him.
I mean, if you got a giant tapestry of a guy and he's like the centerpiece of the tapestry and that's all you guys talk about, you worship that guy.
But they say he's the founder, so that implies that there's like some other religion that
I feel like he just founded the place, and then when he like died, I guess, or whatever happened to him, they were just like, "Oh, he's the guy. That's the guy."
He's like that one Roman emperor who's like, "I think I'm becoming a god."
Yeah, pretty much. Like, when I die, this podcast will continue, but they'll just be like, "That Swanson dude, he knew how to talk about TV."
He's the god king in absentia.
That's right. Yeah, so these monastery mice are led by Father Abbott, who's a dum-dum. He's a big old dum-dum who's like, "Oh, no, war's bad, no fighting."
Mm-hmm.
And little does he know, there's going to be lots of fighting. Dummy.
Well, there's going to be a lot of stock footage.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the other problem with... You can have a peaceful society here, but the thing is, you really shouldn't advertise your peaceful community so readily. There are 2 different shots of these rats who are going to attack them going down the road where arrows are pointing to where Redwall is. You're begging to get attacked.
I think it's part of a kingdom or some larger polity.
If it is, there's no like help coming to Redwall.
They're on their own.
Yeah, for what we know, anyway.
The king should show up or something.
Yeah, King Mouse.
Their king would be a capybara, I think. The largest of mammals.
It's true, yeah. Because otherwise he would eat the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we get introduced to Clunny the Scourge and all of his rat boys, and they've got some great names for these rats. There's one that's called like
Scotty.
Yeah.
You're Scottish.
There's one that's called like Cheese Thief. That's the Scottish one.
There's one that's called Shadow.
Yeah, there's one that's called Shadow, who he's like a little sneaky boy, and he's like, "What can I do for you, master?"
Unfortunately, he does not have a gun or hover skates.
Yeah, no. Yeah, they just got real evil, shadowy names, like Shadow.
That's right.
And Clunny is like, "We're gonna take over this Redwall place, and they're gonna get got by us, the big rats." And so they go, they rear their head. Or I guess first what happens is Matthias sees them, and he's like, "Oh, that's no good, Matt." He's like, "That's not great."
PTSD flashback.
Yeah. He's like, "That guy killed my family. That's not cool. Hey, man, that's not good. Aw, dang. Aw, biscuits.
Oh gosh. Oh no. Oh jeez. Oh,
you hate to see it. Yeah, and Clenny and all of his men are like, or I guess just a couple of his bros are there, and they're like, we're just humble travelers who look like rats, the evilest species. And Father Abbott is like aware that this is a trick, but is like, well, we welcome everybody here to this community.
He's like liberals who say when they go low, we'll go high, and then eat shit politically when the elections come along.
Yeah.
And don't change their patterns of behavior at all.
He takes these guys in. This guy is like, all right, well, here's my sword tail, and then does nothing with it. It's weird that he doesn't fight anybody with his sword tail. Isn't that the whole reason he's got it?
Yeah, he kind of just folds easily and gets his ass whooped.
He walks in and he's just like, I got a sword tail, so like pretty much I win. So,
and all it takes is like a 13-year-old child to step up and be like, no. And then for like a skunk to throw a table, and then he's like, well, fuck, never mind.
Well, this skunk woman is very powerful.
It's true. She's quite powerful, actually.
I imagine there was this overwhelming force, and he just knew he was going to die if he tried to fight.
And he's just like, all right, bye. And then as he's leaving, he's like, hey, where's Shadow at? Give me Shadow. And Shadow's like, I'm always in the shadows, master. That's why my name is this thing. And he's like...
Oh, I like how one of the underlings was like, oh, you showed him, right? And it's like, yeah, clearly.
That's why we're leaving. And he's like, listen, they've got this big rat warrior boy on this big mouse warrior guy in the tapestry. I want him. Give me his picture so they can taunt them with it. He's like, sure thing. And that's where the episode ends, I guess. Thoughts on that first
Crazy
episode?
Stuff, man.
No. What am I? I can't.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's take a step back here and talk about Frogus Gracchus. I reached out to him to get some comments about why he recommended this program.
Okay.
Swanson, do you want to do the honors and read what he said?
Sure, yeah. Am I reading the full transcripts or just what he said?
Yes, you do Keo, I'll do Froby.
Okay. We're going to record Redwall today. Do you have any comments about why you chose for us to watch this?
Rats.
What else?
They are people, just like us.
So did he mean the mice or the rats?
Uh,
I don't know.
I think he knows the difference between rats and mice.
So it's a damning commentary on the society in general.
Yeah.
That the rats are just like us. The mice are sort of our ideal, but we just all end up being rats.
But where do skunks fit into this? And badgers?
Don't think about it.
I think every rodent is good except for rats.
Evidently, that's what it seems to be so far. Because the only other bad guy we see is a snake.
Oh, yeah. The snake from the Bible shows up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, that's what they called the snake from the Bible, right? Asmodeus.
Is that what the biblical serpent was called? Was it Asmodeus? Isn't that like that's the name for like a very powerful demon?
Well,
maybe that's what the guy's saying. Maybe that's his take on the Bible. Is Asmodeus is the snake in the grass?
Possibly.
I'm just saying it's an evil snake.
and I don't want to alarm you guys, but I did look at the cast list. While there's nothing really remarkable in the cast for season 1, season 2 does have Tim Curry playing the villain.
Is it Scrungy? Or is it someone
No,
else?
it's a new guy named Slagar the Cruel, who I think is a fox.
Presumably Eastern European.
Evidently, yeah, probably. So that's something, right? That sounds like at least I would watch that, probably.
Yeah, they need to stunt casting for this.
Yeah. And I guess after season 1, the kids were like, yawn.
We don't recognize these voices.
Yeah. Because kids love when they recognize a voice. Anyway, I feel like he should have been a shoo-in for the rabbit, because the rabbit kind of sounds like Nigel Thornberry.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so.
So, and he's famously
The dummy
voice
thick
of Nigel.
rabbit.
Yes. So, yeah, we get to the second episode here. Part 2 of Clunny the Scourge. Clungy.
They say it's Clooney. I don't know why you guys can't say that name.
Cunny.
Is it because you can't think of the name Clooney and not think of George Clooney?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, some people also just call it Clunny.
Really?
There's at least in the beginning, there was 2 people who were like, that's Clunny the Scourge. And then every time he's talked about afterwards, they're like, Clooney.
Yeah, they didn't get the script right yet, and they didn't want to re-record.
Anyway, yes, he should have been voiced by George Clooney, obviously. This is 1999. He was either recovering or about to be Batman.
I think he was recovering. I think he was on ER at this point.
Yeah, so he could have got him for, I'm sure, a very modest fee. So Clooney is like, hey, Shadow, go get that tapestry. So Shadow does that. And who needs scissors? Because when you're a rat, you just got teeth. And you can just sort of gnaw at this tapestry.
Yeah.
And he does so for a very long time. Like a real long time. Like too long.
It was a big event, Swanson.
I think it should have been longer. Like, they should have animated it in real time.
Like, it should have been the whole episode where he's just going like...
Yeah. Imagine if you were a kid and you saw that.
Yeah, that would probably enhance my sense of comedy.
It would blow your mind.
Yeah, I would be thinking about it a lot.
It would blow my mind almost as much as that joke where Peter Griffin hurts his knee.
Or that episode of Space Ghost where he just walks off the set to follow an ant home. For about 20 minutes.
I have no idea.
It would be more like the scenes from Space Ghost where they would just stare at each other and blink.
Oh, yeah, those are beautiful.
That's essentially the well of comedy that we're going for there. Anyway, yeah. So he's gnawing on this thing, and eventually Matthias is like... Because he keeps hearing, I guess, the voice of Martin in his head, or perhaps just psychosis. And he just, Martin's like, hey, don't let me get taken, man. That's not cool. And he's like, huh? What could that mean? And then he sees Shadow just sort of taking the tapestry, and he's just like, hey, that's a rat!
Yeah. He immediately tattles on Shadow.
Yeah.
That's tattling?
Yes, it is.
Isn't it tattling when it's like a peer doing
it?
Yeah,
right.
He tattles.
Like, do you tattle on your enemies, like your people who are gonna who came and killed your family?
Yeah,
you tattle on them.
Hey, secrets are secrets, okay?
They should be respected regardless of what they may or may not do to you.
Yeah, I'll respect your code of honor, Stairmaster.
Okay.
No matter how stupid it is.
Alright, so you won't tell anyone when I break into your house?
No, steal that famous tapestry.
I'll let you take what you want as well.
That famous tapestry of instant.
Yeah, fabled instant that everyone listening to this
long
podcast
lost friend who's way cooler than all of us.
understands.
Yeah, I was going to say a famous tapestry of Cybershell.
Oh, who has nothing to do with this.
No, but he is an idol to Kyorain.
Yeah, I really like his fabled Tales run that he actually published for the wrong game.
I did too.
So yeah, they go and have a tug of war over this scroll, or this tapestry, and it should just rip, right?
Yeah, it should just be destroyed.
But
the
instead,
world should end right then and there.
Instead, he just sort of Shadow gets away, but falls to his apparent death. This is
Rest in peace.
This is a very important lesson for children, which is if you fall from something high enough, you will die.
I mean, that's a good lesson for the kids.
Yeah, because kids are always climbing, running, jumping.
climbing around, jumping on things, jumping off things.
Yeah, and so Shadow gets abandoned by his master.
To die. And he's just dead. They're just carrying his carcass in, and the Father Abbott's just like, this is what happens when people fight. Death.
He's not wrong.
The mistakes of youth.
Yeah, he's not wrong, but also, it was an enemy that died, so maybe he should be like, oh, well, sucks to suck.
Suck it, punk.
Yeah, he should just be like, well, he got what he deserved.
In your face. Kill them all.
Like, they should be carrying his body by, and he should just be like,
They should be, like, dragging him. Tied up to a cart, dragged across town.
They should be cutting off his head and sticking it on a pillar. For all the other rats. So yeah.
That's a good message for the kids.
So Clenny and all of his men go back and they're like, well, we've got to come up with some new plans now. So they capture these voles. And
amazing
like,
that you could tell that they're voles. I thought they were just more mice.
They say it aloud. Otherwise, I wouldn't.
Oh, I thought that was just the name of their family.
Well, yes, but they're also voles.
I thought it was just some European German name.
Vole?
Yeah, only now that you say it that I think, oh yeah, that's a type of animal.
So let's unpack this for a second. You heard the name vole.
I heard they said the Vole family's been taken. I was like, oh, that's a German name.
In a show filled with rodent creatures.
Well, yeah, because I don't think about voles, the rodent creature, that often. Only now have I remembered that's a type of rodent creature.
All right.
Yeah, you need to go play in the dirt some more. Still.
Yeah. You need to start looking for
a vole.
Yeah, less bugs, more rodents.
Oh yeah, there's a hedgehog in this.
Oh yeah, he doesn't do anything way past cool.
What would you do if Sonic was there? He was like not like he's just there. He doesn't.
I'd wonder why he didn't help.
Oh, so it's like Sonic and the Black Knight.
Yeah, but he didn't have the sword.
Sonic in this would just really take care of the situation real easy. That's the problem.
Or maybe he'd be there, but he would like help, but he wouldn't like be strong enough to like do too much.
Well, Father Abbott would be like, "No fighting," and Sonic would be like, "That's lame." Sometimes you gotta fight
I'm
back.
out of here.
I think that they would like burn Sonic at the stake for being a blue demon spawn.
They'd be right to do it.
Yeah. Well, we would also. It would be a very conflicting situation because Sonic would have to fight Shadow at some point.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, they Clenny and his boys capture these voles, and he's like, "We'll use them as like a way of getting into the Redwall. Those dumb old men, they'll let me in for exchange for these people." And Matthias learns this, and he's like, "Hey, listen, that's not good. I'm gonna have to go do something, I guess. It's only me that can do it."
Everyone else seems useless.
Everyone else seems to have subscribed to the theory that there's no need in fighting, even though there's a literal army of rats ready to kill them. Like, the only weapons they seem to have in the battle here is rocks.
I thought they had arrows going the other way, too.
I don't know, it's very inconsistent in what they show. Because it does seem like there are arrows going the other way, but it's mostly, when you see like what they're actually using, it just seems to be a bunch of rocks.
I thought they referred to having archers. I could have sworn.
Maybe they do. I don't know. Which does not line up with the way Father Abbott runs his ship.
I mean, having defenses is like not contrary to like not going out on the offense to like kill the opposing army.
I guess you're right. He's just holding them off.
Monasteries would have a little militia
Yeah.
made up of the young men.
Those guards also, who come out later, do not kill any of the rats. They just sort of beat them up, and they're like, yeah, get out of here. Matthias goes out. He's looking for this Vole family, and he encounters a big old rat. This rat gets absolutely thrashed. This rat's like too dumb to live.
He's Scottish.
And we get introduced to Basil Staghair, who is a motor-mouthed rabbit.
He's to keep the ladies watching.
Yeah, he's a motor-mouthed rabbit who's thick. And he's doing a lot here. He's apparently very strong because he's a rabbit and these are a bunch of rats and mice.
I'm just kind of like, I don't know what's going on here with this guy. Like, what's he doing out here?
He's a big, strong rabbit, and also he's like a funny guy.
Why is he here in this particular forest?
He's a wandering knight.
He's just out for a stroll, and he's just like, oh yeah, I'll help you.
He's a wandering knight. It's the classic storytelling.
If I had to guess why he was actually here, Kyorain, since he mentions it, he was probably looking for that snake.
Oh.
Okay, that's why he was there. Okay.
They probably haven't dotted that I quite yet, because he is the one. The snake gets brought up, and he's just like, yeah, that guy. You gotta watch out for him. He's evil.
There's only one snake in this world.
When they mentioned having the snake around, he wasn't like, oh, I've been looking for him. He's just like, oh yeah, he's bad. Like, he eats mice. Anyways, what's for dinner?
Yeah.
Literally, he does that.
Well, does this seem like a character that would just really willingly be like, yeah, I've been looking for that snake? It would be like a thing where the snake shows up and he would be like, yes, Asmodeus!
The boar monster has returned.
When you think about it, all snakes are boar monsters.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they do eat.
Yeah, they love it. They don't only just eat, Kyorain, they eat large things.
They eat it, and it's like eaten, and like they eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they eat it.
And just like, this is me now. This is in me. And you can see it.
That's what happens when I eat things. They're in me as well.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be weird if you could just sort of see it poking out?
Well, that'd be horrific.
You ever just eat like a whole hard-boiled egg? Just like eat it?
No.
Shell and all?
Yeah, you ever do that, Swanson?
Yeah, I love it.
How do you not choke on it?
What do you mean? It's just, you just gulp it down. I don't know what you're talking about. It's not complicated. So yeah.
I mean, if you say so.
This thick rabbit uses his diversionary tactics of being weird to...
I'm calling them stinky.
Yeah, he's just like, you guys smell. You're a stinky bunch.
Why didn't he use his mighty legs to kick them into oblivion?
Well, he does later. Apparently right now all he's doing is just playing around with these rats. He didn't want to use his true powers yet, Kyo. And also the animators just couldn't handle that sort of stress.
I mean, the animation was pretty fluid for the sequence where they were goofing around.
Yeah, well, you imagine if they had to add a kick.
Yeah, some real Sakaga on display here.
So, the Vole family is freed, and they go about their way. And the rabbit does kick some people. Don't worry, everybody. We do get some rabbit kicking. And then, yeah.
Not nearly enough. No, not nearly enough. I wanted to see him just a flip's just twitching his head immediately. He's just like killing.
Yeah, like his eyes go blank and he's just kicking ass.
Get down with the sickness starts playing.
Yeah, exactly. No, like his eyes change color and then you just hear, I watched you change. And like Matthias is just like, what happened? What's Basil doing? And you just hear him go, ah! As he's just like,
I can't. They didn't do anything wrong.
There's just an aura around him.
Become a fly.
So back over in like the actual forested area, this rat gets loose, but not before this Asmodeus guy comes by, and he's just like, he's a normal snake, you can tell, because he shows up and he's like, you will be eaten by me, Snake Man.
Which I assume is what snakes would say if they could talk.
Yeah, probably. And the rat's just like, What I want to talk about in this scene is what seems to be the most disturbing part of these two episodes. Mm-hmm. Which is the sound effect of the snake eating the rat. I don't know if you guys heard it, because it was quick, but it was like a full, like...
Yeah, I tried to repress that memory. Thanks for picking it up, Swanson.
I don't remember it, so I think I'm spared here.
Yeah, it was quite visceral for the show that is being presented to us so far, which animation-wise seems to be like a mix of Sonic Underground and Dragon's Tales.
Yeah, this show is like pretty... They do not shy away from talking about people dying in this program.
That's true, yeah, but they never show someone actually dead. They just say they died later.
Yeah.
And I guess even this point, they don't show you... Obviously, they don't show this guy get eaten. You just get to hear the gnarly sound effect. So anyway, Clenny and his men are having like their plan is to cause a diversion by having some of their army attack the main gates, and then they're gonna use a big old plank and get in on the side. Matthias comes back just in time, and like this skunk lady's like, "Oh hell no, let's do this," and they just move the plank.
Yeah. Well, it's a group effort.
The little girl notices that they're doing a diversion and warns everybody.
Oh yeah, and then everybody
also,
gets in there.
This besieging army has like an unlimited amount of arrows. Like it's a continuous. They're not even. It's like they're shooting machine guns into the air.
They got a lot of arrows on hand, apparently. And Clenny falls. So naturally, because we saw someone fall and die in the beginning, we think, "Oh yeah, that guy's dead for sure." He falls to his apparent death, but then he's watching him and his eye opens. Oh, he's alive! Ooh!
He also, like, uses his tail to, like, choke someone, too, for no reason.
Yeah. Seems a bit much.
Yeah, but why that person? That's not nice. You don't do that.
No, he's not a nice guy, Kieran.
What?
Yeah, he's a bad guy.
Oh my god.
That's why he's called the Scourge.
That's why he's called Cunning.
That explains a lot about this program. He's the bad guy. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's like the big ending cliffhanger is he's like, he's alive. Oh no. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's just the end.
The end. See you later, folks.
So yeah, that is the end of the 2 episodes.
What if instead it cut to his gravestone and he's dead and that's the end of the...
Yeah, he's like, and that's how we killed
series.
Clooney. Clooney the Scourge, dead.
The end.
So yeah, that's the end of these 2 episodes. What do we think of these bad boys?
Yeah. It's okay.
It was alright.
For like a children's show, I guess it's fine, but I don't know, man.
I thought, yeah, when I for some reason I assumed that this was a modern animated thing and also a movie. So I was very let down.
Isn't that what was announced like recently that they're going to do that? And that's
probably.
They're making a movie of this? Maybe they can get George Clooney.
I don't know. I thought we were going to be watching that, so I was like, wait a minute, this is not that.
Yeah, it's very much not that. It's fine, but if I saw this on TV, I would probably watch something else.
Like as an adult or as like a children?
As a children. If I turned on the TV and this was on, I would flip to find Digimon.
Yeah, this is not edgy enough.
Yeah. Like, if I had the choice between watching this and watching, like, I don't know, something on Cartoon Network, I'd
Hysteria Babies.
Yeah.
Since it's 1999.
Yeah. Well, you could watch Digimon in 1999.
Yes, true.
Hysteria Babies?
Hysteria Babies, remember? It's a show where they're like little egg-shaped babies. One of them's Napoleon.
Hysteria Babies.
Hysteria Babies?
Hysteria Babies?
Help me out here.
All right. I'm not going to help Stairmaster out, but I am going to help Swan. I am not me. I'm not going to help myself. I'm going to help Kyorain out. He's correct. There is a movie in the works. Apparently Netflix has acquired the full adaptation rights to the entire novel series in February. There's a film based on the novel Redwall that's in the production, and an animated quote-unquote event series based on the character Martin the Warrior. The show's being written by the guy who did Over the Garden Wall, so I guess that could be good. I don't know.
Oh, wait, no, the show was called Hysteria, and there were 2 egg-shaped babies in it.
Okay, I remember that, and I would not have watched that. I would definitely watch Redwall over that.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe we need to watch Hysteria.
I remember Hysteria being on the TV, and I would avoid it because I didn't want to watch it.
I seem to recall the film, the show Hysteria. I don't remember enjoying it.
One of the characters in that show is named Frogo.
Oh.
I distinctly remember Hysteria being on the TV, and I just thought, like, it wasn't meant to actually be watched, so I would change the channel.
Well, you might be right.
This is not a show for consumption. This is a show that just sort of fill a time period. A time slot, even.
Like, I don't know, like, my brain was, like, not proper at all. As a little child, it was, not wired correctly. I had to fix it later. So, I didn't understand what a bad TV show was. I just thought, like, they would put something on TV that, like, they're not actually supposed to watch it. So, you have to change the channel.
Yeah,
so that's a tune out on Hysteria.
Yeah, and, I don't know, what do you guys think about this one?
Yeah,
I think you should just watch Batman Beyond instead.
Yeah. Just go watch Animaniacs.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you should watch over this Redwall program, but I'm trying to imagine if I was a kid, if I would watch this. That's what I'm trying to actually do.
Well, if you were a kid now, you certainly wouldn't be watching this.
So this only aired on American Public Broadcasting, by the way.
Yeah, so, I mean, but it could be on WB. A local station could be playing this at like 4 p.m.
Oh, 4 p.m.?
I guess 3.
That's 3 p.m. Come on, kids are back.
Isn't that when would you get out of school? What the hell? You get out of school at 1?
No, you get out of school at 2. How long do you think the bus takes?
I don't know. It depends. When you're getting into the house, settled down to watch some TV, it's 2 o'clock.
No way, impossible.
No. You're sitting through a rerun of Hysteria if you're getting there that early. Hysteria, by the way, according to Wikipedia, was an attempt by Warner Brothers to make an explicitly educational program to meet FCC requirements for content for children.
So it's government mandate. No wonder it was so bad.
Also, it was due to have 65 episodes like Animaniacs originally did, but went $10 million over budget. So only had 52. Something to think about.
Oh, no.
Anyway, what are our final thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of other things to watch out there other than this. I think it's actually a somewhat charming program, but I'm not going to recommend it to anybody, so that's a tune out.
Tune out.
Yeah, I'm not going to recommend this bad boy. So that's a tune out for Redwall.
But you do call it a bad boy.
It's a bad boy. There's lots of bad boys that I wouldn't recommend. But there are plenty that I would. Well, so yeah, that's a tune out for Redwall. But hey, if there's another show that you want us to watch, or a film, or just really any topic that you think you'd want to hear us blabber on about for an hour or so, then go over to buymeacoffee.com/tvtuners. A single coffee gives you a single thing for us to discuss. Whether that would be 2 episodes of Hysteria or a feature-length movie. Single coffee, and that's what you get there. As for the bonus episodes, well, we've got 5 more episodes of Gilmore Girls to get through, so that's what we'll be doing for the foreseeable future.
Yikes.
But for now, that's it. We'll be back next week with more TV goodness. Until then, keep watching. Bye. It's over.
I found him.
Hey guys, time for the TV Tuners Fact of the Week. Did you know that if Stairmaster was a rodent, he would be a squirrel?
That's right. Very industrious.
Gotta get those nuts.